Welcome to Landrianka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. All right, so I want to share an experience that I had yesterday. One of my subscribers, I'm not going to say your name, all right, but I think you'll know who you are, asked me to send loving light. That's an interesting thing to ask for, loving light. I immediately did it. And I went into a meditative state. And I want to share what I saw. And the reason I'm sharing this is because you may experience some things like this, and I want you to be prepared for it. I thought I was just going to go in and do my usual love, light, life, and I send it out, and I see light just enveloping everybody, and I see people changing how they're thinking, people changing the way they act, people opening up to one another, people putting weapons down, people embracing one another and giving. I just imagine that world, and it's happening. It is happening. It is in my reality. If you want to hang on to a negative one, that's okay. That's your choice. But that's my reality, and it can be yours, transitioning to the fourth and fifth dimension. This is all possible. It is an individual choice. And I know so many of you are battling with some of the darkness that is with you for whatever reason. It's not always easy to step away, but that's part of really maybe not just identity, but it's part of who you've been and what you relate to. And it's not easy to step out of that and be somebody completely different overnight. It is possible, and you can do it. You have to be ready for it and embrace it. So this person asked me to send them loving light. So I go into a meditative state, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw this person, and it was the most inky blackness, which shocked me. I saw the person. I didn't see what they actually looked like, but I knew who it was. And I saw inky blackness around them. Very heavy inky blackness, not like, a cloud of gray. It was like so heavy, like oil, black oil. And that was a little stunning. Now I'm telling you this because if you go into these situations and you go to meditate, or you're focused on something and you start to see these things, it could be a little scary because you don't understand what you're seeing and you think you're doing it and you want to change it. I wanted to change it because I don't like anything negative and I don't like to focus on it, but I realized I was connecting to that person's energy and I was sending light and love, and I was actually pulling in other energy. I wasn't using just my own energy. I was pulling in other energy, and I asked other entities to come in and help raise the frequency of this person, at least envelop them in some healing light. One angel stepped up and actually embraced and hugged this black inky entity, this person who's actually my friend, my subscriber, hugged that person. And it was still very black and inky. And still, what's going through my head is, I've never envisioned anything like this. What is this? And why is this one angel embracing this person and the blackness is not going away? And this person was still in the blackness, but this angel wrapped its wings around this person and hugged him. And there was no light emanating from the angel. It was just white angel, just white being putting their arms around him. And I thought, okay, this is not good, because there is no such thing as darkness overriding light. It's a choice. So if it does, it's a choice that you made because you still need to explore that darkness for whatever reason. You're not done with it. It's not that light doesn't have power. As soon as you call in the light, darkness cannot exist in a room with light. Light can exist in a room with darkness. It obliterates it, right? So as soon as you bring light in a dark room, there is no darkness. And even if there are dark corners, all you have to do is walk into that corner with the light, and it's not dark anymore, right? That is the power you wield. If you think of it that simply, as soon as you bring light into any situation, anything in your life, darkness has no power. It's just something you created that you're experiencing for whatever reason that you need to break through. You're just experiencing it. That's all. Don't name it anything. So this person's obviously in a very black, inky, very dense darkness. The next thing I saw is other angels, and I sat with this for a while going, oh boy, this is not working. You know, why is this not working? I realized, okay, this person still has free will, has choice, so I can't interfere with that. Then I saw other angels come in, and I'm sharing this because I'm hoping my subscriber is watching this. Other angels came in and light started to come in the room, and they all enclosed this person. They formed a circle and like held hands or embraced each other and put this person in the middle. And that one angel was still holding him. And then he fell back into this like, almost like a hole, this impression. And it was dark, but these angels came around and they started just doing some kind of thing, and light was getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and pretty soon the light started to go into this hole which this person was in, and it started to light up in there. And it kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and pretty soon it was enveloping him. This whole bright light, and this took a while, by the way, and I'm still sitting with this going, don't change it, don't fight this, just watch it. Just watch it. Don't try and change it to the way I want it to be, because I could have done that. And that probably wouldn't have, I don't know what I would have made up. It was uncomfortable because there was still so much blackness in the room. And they kept working on this person. And that person was laying in this hole, and the light kept enveloping them, just enveloping. And they kept working on him. And I just watched. I just watched. And it kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And then my vision ended. So there was work being done on this person, but why I'm sharing this with you is because if you go into these meditative states and you go into theta state and you have a focus and a purpose when you go in, you have got to let go and go with whatever you're getting, because that's going to be the message, and what you see is real. So if you think, oh, I made up some thing about angels, and all this weird blackness and stuff, it's real. I wasn't making that up. In fact, that's not what I wanted to see, because it was a little bit creepy that this black ink wasn't going away. It was very heavy and dark, and it was permeating everything. It wasn't affecting me. I was an observer. But when you go into these states, be prepared to hang in there with it. Nothing can harm you. So if you're going in to heal yourself or others, know that there's probably some darkness, some lower frequency that's going to be in that space. It cannot harm you, and you have to stay steadfast, because if you go into fear, or if you try and change it, that's not going to work. If you go into fear, you're now going into that lower frequency, and that's not good. That's not good. Then you get involved in whatever's going on, and it gets worse, or you think it has power and it doesn't. The power it has is what you're giving it. So when you start to meditate and you go into these places, you start to see things, let it go. I've meditated and I've wanted to see things, and I keep getting taken at completely different places than what I was focused on. I keep getting taken, and it's consistent what's happening. It takes me to a completely different place, and I realized I don't control things. I cannot just predict. If I'm leaving it open to the bigger responses, the bigger messages, I have to let go of my preconceived ideas of what that is. So let's say, I saw something the other day that I didn't like because it's not something I want to happen. Don't interpret anything. Don't interpret anything as negative. It may not be at all what you think. It may not be at all what you think. So let's say, all right, this is a situation with a certain person. I saw a for sale sign in the front of their house. and that was the last thing that I would want to see, meaning they're going to move. But that may not be the case. Something else may be going on there. First of all, we can't interpret everything. It could mean something completely different than what I'm thinking. It could be the most positive thing. So don't think you know what your interpretation, don't think that you really have a handle on your interpretation, and be okay with what you see, because the universe is always sending us the highest possible solutions. And if you tune into that, even if you see the darkness, know that it's showing you things that it's going to come out of. And that scares the heck out of people. I'm not afraid of that. I can remember dark entities some time ago. They don't even bother with me. Dark entities showing up, and you get that holding you down, while you're sleeping. And I broke loose and ran into the bathroom, and I tried to turn on lights and they wouldn't go on, and I ran to the bathroom and got away, and there were several of them in the room, and they said, "Wow, she's powerful. She's powerful," and left. They knew that I wasn't going to stop, that I could break away from them. And they have not been back yet. Now, you may get stuff like that happens. You're going, what is that? It's not necessarily that you're in the dark side or whatever. It's that there may be openings, especially if you're spiritual, you meditate. There may be openings for things to try to communicate with you. It's not bad. It's not bad. Sometimes, most of the time, they're not there to harm you at all. They're just trying to communicate with somebody. Don't be afraid to meditate. It does not open the gateway to negativity. It's your fear that does that. Or if you're connecting to worry or doubt or whatever, that it will do. You're better off meditating and connecting to your highest source, and that will dissipate the darkness. So don't be afraid to go to that space, and don't be afraid of what you see. The more you look at it and let it go and don't try to change it, the more answers you'll get, and the more you're going to connect to your higher power. And the less fearful you are, and the less that negative lower frequency is going to connect with you. It's going to go someplace else. It's attracted to like frequencies, not because it's got a conscious agenda. It doesn't. It's just connecting. Frequency connects with frequency. That's all it is. There's no thinking going on with the universe. It just reacts. We as human beings get to have emotions and thinking. That's part of our creating stuff. My thinking of one situation could be completely different than yours. So what is it? Everybody has their own reality. We're allowed that. It's free will. So the conclusion is, I'm wondering if my friend, who I had that vision of, experienced something. So I'll find out, and I'll follow up with this with you guys. Second thing is, are you ready to go into that space? So remember, you can try to send somebody healing and light, but they still have free will. So if they're choosing to stay in that dark place, so be it. You can help raise the frequency of everyone, but everyone still has individual free will. You cannot infringe on that. You can't make somebody do something. You can't make somebody love you. You got to really take a look at yourself if you're trying to make those things happen that are outside of the laws of free will. That's the ego, needing something or someone, that situation to make them happy. And when you release things, the most wonderful things will happen for you. Do not be afraid of what you experience, what you feel, what you see, what you envision. In fact, sometimes when those things show up, I purposely will go into it. I sit with it. I'm like, I'm not going to refocus over it. I'm going to sit with this. What is this? And it's not frightening anymore. It's like, it's harmless, totally harmless. Wow, okay. It's maybe some insight, and you can get that anytime you choose. This is all valuable stuff. And when you don't fear that darkness and you view it as part of the experience that takes you through the learning, through the growth, it becomes something really beautiful. And all of a sudden, it dissipates. So even if it's your own darkness you're experiencing, when you sit with it, it will dissipate. When we fight it and we don't want it, we are actually fueling the negativity. I don't want this, doesn't feel good. More negativity. Boom, 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 boom. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings are flowing to you. Abundance, light, and love. You have all the power in the universe flowing through you. You are it. When you embrace that, anything can happen. Namaste.